This cat looked into the pits of hell, and hell looked back in the form of Yor. And I don't envy that poor kitty, but honestly, I think I feel the worst for Frankie. I mean, Frankie's not a character I overly feel bad for when he gets shot down, but I think what really made it depressing was seeing the fact that he spent a decade of his life making the Iron Man suit. And sure, maybe it takes 15 minutes to warm up, and it was a little impractical, but the fact that Yor breaks it to scare the cat, to get the cat, which you already knew that the girl was already going to be taken or that she wouldn't want to date him, and to just see my boy just petrified at he lost everything for nothing, and honestly, right in the feels. But damn, Anya pretty much failing school again and gonna be thrown into the dunce class. Everyone's just getting L's after L's, and unless you're Yor or Lloyd right now, things are a little rough, to put it nicely. But full live reaction to today's wonderful Spy Family episode over on my Patreon if you would like to see that. It's over there if you're interested. Now, this was a great episode. I would say the first chunk of the episode, focusing on the cafeteria, the macaroons and everything, that was like top 2, top 3 things I've seen this season so far out of these 4 episodes. Anya stuff is always going to be like my favorite content probably, and it was just so sweet, so funny. But I have to admit, the Frankie stuff surprised me probably the most because initially I wasn't really feeling it, right? You know, Frankie wants to collect a cat to get a date. It's kind of whatever. I'm not the biggest Frankie fan, but I don't hate his character. Once though Yor joined up and basically it was like, okay, we have this giant machine, we're gonna launch catnip smell everywhere, and then in comes the swarm, that's where it really picked up. And honestly, this was as close to a perfect episode as you could get. Like, it did something different once again, which has been my biggest compliment this season. Showing characters who don't normally get the spotlight in different ways. In this case, Frankie, right? But it also gave you the fan favorite content, which is of course Anya. And seeing Damien and his goons, I mean, you knew exactly what was going to happen. At least I thought it was obvious, but that doesn't take away from it. The idea that, of course, she reads minds and immediately wins the game. Everyone thinks she's cheating, so then she has to obviously make it look like she's not cheating, and she doesn't have a poker face. She gives away everything. Damien, who is clearly in love with Anya, was going to let her win, and Anya was going to try to share half of it, and he would storm off in an embarrassment rage. And even though it went exactly as I thought it would, it was still so perfect, it was so funny, and Anya has some of the best anime faces I have ever seen in this medium. And whether it was her unleashing Ultra Instinct and just scribbling away, I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna work, but I also thought maybe it was just like they over-exaggerated it and we're just showing her actually study for once. She's not wasting her time watching her spy programs. No, she actually put in the hard work and she'll have better grades. And no, that she didn't do too well. But like Lloyd says, she actually did pretty good on the ancient languages thing. It's just her spelling is what held her back. Had she had proper spelling, she probably would have aced that thing. And he's obviously like, where did she learn that stuff? Like, obviously with her being able to read minds, it obviously will go a long way. And if the people whose minds that she reads, you know, would actually spell out things, she probably would do a lot better on these tests. But still, it's a bit of a shame for poor old Anya. I'm sure she'll manage somehow, but basically, the classes are going to be split apart based on their grades, and the similar like-minded, intelligent people will be in one class, and everyone else will obviously fit into their own little groups, and yeah, Anya's probably in her own class at this point, but maybe another old maid game will help us out. We don't know, but it was cute to see like the old little like rumor like, oh, if you eat one of these desserts, these pastries from the hidden cafeteria, you're gonna get a Stella, you're gonna be the smartest person alive. It's not even a hidden cafeteria, man. It's like just down the hall on the right. Like, it's not like some mysterious booth that pops up. Like, it literally just looks like sometimes they open those doors and there's another cafeteria. It ain't all that special, but you know how rumors go about in a school. And it was just great. I like the smack talk. I mean, I love the idea that basically there's 5 on the plate. The person who ends up buying is like, okay, I'll give you these 4, and there's 5 people we have to deal with. You knew it was going to come down to these 2 lovebirds, but man, is it perfect. And honestly, I'm surprised by how much I like the Damien and Anya chemistry. It's pretty much like the perfect fluff, and anyone who had a crush at their age, like, Damien is how a lot of little boys are. Like, they act like they don't care, but they're super embarrassed, and they kind of seem like a jerk, but they're super kind and compelling. it's just like, I love what they do here, and Anya being the troll master that she is, it's just perfect to see what they did. But like I said, I would honestly say Frankie's stuff was the most surprising. I enjoyed Anya's content the most, but Frankie surprised me this episode and had me saying, damn man, give this boy a date. He messed up though, because they were legitimately happy, right? Like, he returned their cat. He could have asked them, like, hey, do you have a single friend that you could set me up on a date? And they probably would have gave him that. And he might have had a bit of a W there, because they would have spoke up on him, like, being like, you know what, this man went out of his way to find my lost cat. He's a really sweet customer. Give this man a shot. And he might have been able to work some magic. Instead, he just swore off women, man. He's like, I'm just gonna be an incel and just just go do my job from now on. But next week should be interesting. Episode 30 overall of this show, and Yor is going to be getting into some shenanigans as a new mission is on the horizon. And what I said early into this season when we finally got some actual assassin Yor stuff was that this is what I wanted to see more of, and seemingly they're going to give us just that. The preview looks fun, and overall, like, I'm loving season 2. It's that slice of life, wild family adventure you've come to expect while continuing to progress that fake family into becoming such a believable, real, genuine family all at the same time. I honestly love, like, just little moments with the animation too, where it's like Anya just like stomping away, being like, I gotta go pout in my bed, or the fact of when Yor ends up tossing the Iron Man suit and just how into it she goes. It's just like, I love how expressive this show is. It has such a brilliant character design. I love because here's the thing, when it comes to like children characters, when they're like surrounded by adults in anime, I kind of feel like they just don't really feel like kids. But every time I look at the school here, I feel like they're innocent kids in this like super educated, they're going to turn them into like the best politicians, the most intelligent people ever. And then when it goes into the absolute demonic side with characters like Yor, you feel the murderous intent from them. And it just feels like they blend every type of energy, whether it's wholesome fluff, murderous intent, what the hell am I looking at? They nail every single atmosphere about this show. And it honestly is one of the most expressive anime I've seen. And I'm loving it. I fell in love with the first season. And they just are nailing everything. They're showing me things I didn't expect to want to see, whether that is with Yor's brother, whether it is stuff with Frankie. But they're also giving me exactly what I've come to love with the Anya content or Yor's assassination stuff. Like, maybe Lloyd hasn't had as much importance this season, but look at how much importance he had in season 1. I really like what they're doing right now, and I feel like they're just going to keep on impressing me week after week. But let me know what you thought down below of this week's episode of Spy Family, and what do you hope to see with the next mission next week? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more videos to the channel. Like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction over on my Patreon if you're interested. And hey, while you're there, you also get a video shout out. So today we have Diedrich Savon, Davlin, Harry, Truscott, Furno19Z, and Selkie. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.